It's almost time for kids' time. We're gonna be late.
It's time to share. There's a world out there looking for a friend like Jesus. It's time to share. There's a world out there. Let's tell him that he loves us so. Let's tell him that he loves us so. Kids time. Kids time. Kids time.
Hi, boys and girls. Have you ever wondered why people like to build tall buildings? Right now, the tallest building in the world is the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, and it's 2,717 feet high. I'm sure someone out there is already trying to build a skyscraper that's even taller. I guess it's human nature to want to build or own the biggest and the best. Some people want the fastest car or the largest home or have more money than anyone else. You know, boys and girls, people really haven't changed that much since Bible times. There's a story in the Bible about a group of people who wanted to build the tallest building ever built. But as you will see, that venture didn't go quite so well. In fact, that story kind of explains why there's so many nations and languages in the world today. I'll tell you more in just a few minutes, but first, it's time for Nature Time.
Hey everyone, it's me, Rich Aguilera, and as usual, I'm here taking pictures of some of the amazing things God has made. It's everywhere. As you know, I love talking about nature, all of the stuff that God has created. Have you ever made something out of Legos or clay or something like that? You love that thing you created, and God also loves the things that He has created. The things that we create are very special to us. And of course, the things that God creates are very special to Him, like us. Why are we so special to God?
He made us.
That's right, because He made us. You know what we humans try to do sometimes? We try to copy God. We try to create stuff. Today I want to talk to you about something a little bit different. I want to talk to you about some of the stuff that we've created. Wait a second, we've created? Well, sort of. Stuff that we've tried to create using some of God's nature. Let's check it out. This is Notre Dame in Paris, France. Wow, look at this building behind me. I've got to take a picture. Wow, that's amazing. They definitely don't make them like they used to. Hey, you know what it's made of? It's made of something that God made. Let's take a close-up look.
Wow, this sure is a big building.
See, this building is made up of stones. Thousands upon thousands of stones that were cut from a mountain somewhere and brought here and stacked up to make this wonderful building. I'm gonna take a picture.
It's amazing to think that all this was made out of stones. What's it made out of?
Stones.
Yeah, stones. Stones that God made.
If you think about it, this building is a lot like you and me. Each one of you was shaped by God, and each one of you is special and important. Each one of you has a special place on this earth where you can serve God. God created stones, and God created you and me. Who did God create?
You and me.
That's right, you and me. God has made some amazing things. You know, for many years, man has loved building things out of stones. Let me show you a few more. Come on. Wow, this is an ancient stadium in Rome. It's made with lots of stones. I gotta take a picture. Pretty cool, but let's look inside. Let's take a look. Wow, this stadium is almost 2,000 years old. It's definitely not the way it was originally built, but it's still pretty cool. I've got to take a picture. You know, over the centuries, it's been falling apart. But I know what you're thinking. It's made of stone. But even over time, stone falls apart. You know what? The Bible says that God's love is forever. It'll never fall apart like stone. Wow, look at that beautiful castle. And you know what it's made of? Stone. I've got to take a picture. You know what? We can actually get quite a bit closer and get a good look at the stone close up. Let's go. Wow, pretty nice castle. Someone did a really nice job designing it. I'm going to take a picture of it. You know what? We can get closer to the castle. Come on. Stone. Wow, pretty cool. Now those are a lot of stones, and God made them. If you want to see my pictures, you can. Just go to our website at kidstimeforjesus.org and click on Nature Time. Well, you know that God is the creator. Nature is his masterpiece. See ya.
Welcome to Learning Time. I'm glad you joined us today, and we are in a very special place, aren't we? Yeah. Where are we? Oshkosh. We're at Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and we're here at the International Pathfinder Camporee, and there's like 45,000 campers here, and it's really exciting, isn't it? Yes. Hey, we got some people that are going to help me today, and why don't you tell us your name and where are you from?
I'm Raina, and I'm from Tennessee.
Hey, thanks for helping us today. We got two over here. Where are you from?
I'm Anthony, and I'm from Kansas.
Kansas. And what's your name?
I'm Lexi, and I'm from New Mexico.
Wow, so we're from every place, right? All over the nation, actually worldwide, isn't it? Well, today we're going to be doing some science, and I hope you like rainbows. You all like rainbows? Yeah, rainbows are really cool, but you know, you can make rainbows, and you can make rainbows at your home. And we're gonna show you how you can make a very, very simple rainbow, but they're really, really beautiful. So what I'm gonna do is I need my 3 helpers. Okay, why don't you come over here with me? Okay, there we go. And I'm gonna need, let's see, we got the sun. Now the sun's very important if you're gonna make these rainbows. And so why don't you stand here by me, right here. There we go. We're gonna have to face that direction. And can you go over there, way over there, way over there, way over there. And I want you to go right back over there by this gentleman right here. Now what we're gonna do is this. I'm gonna get this little hose. We've got a hose and it's all set up for sprinklers. And we're gonna ask our cameraman to come back behind us so he can get some shots too. Would you all like a shower? Would you like a shower? No. Are you sure? Well, we're not going to give you a shower, but what we're going to do is we're going to try to get some raindrops from right behind me. The sun is right behind me. That's very important. You have to have the sun right behind you. And I'm going to use the shower rainbow. It's really not a rainbow, but that's a rainbow color. And we're going to spread some color right over here. And I want you to tell me can you see the rainbow?
No.
She can't see the rainbow. Can you see the rainbow? You can see it? She can see it. Wow. Now, I'll tell you what, you want to see it?
Sure.
Come over here by me. You want to see it? Mm-hmm. Come on over here by us. And let's see if we can. Can you see the rainbow now?
I can.
Can you see the rainbow now? We cannot. Can you see the rainbow? No, some of you, hey, move back behind us over here and see you. Come on, so you can see it too. But you have to be at the right angle. The sun has to be at your back. And then you have to have some kind of a spray. And this spray is really, really important because each one of those little tiny water drops acts as a prism and it breaks up the light from the sun. The sun is being refracted by those little droplets and it causes us to see all of the colors of the rainbow. You know, the sunlight, the white sunlight, the yellow sunlight, well, it's actually white, but it has all of those colors in it, but you and I can't see it unless we refract it and break it up. Now, there was a guy that lived a long time ago. His name was Sir Isaac Newton. You've heard about him, haven't you? And what he did was he took some white light from the sun and he shone it, put it right through a prism, and it broke it up into the rainbow colors. And that was an awe kind of a time. And then he said, you know what, maybe we could take all of those colors and focus them back through the prism, and what do you suppose he got? White light. Isn't that cool? So all of our colors of our rainbow come from the sun. You know what the sun reminds me of because of that rainbow? What was the first rainbow ever? Noah was in the ark, and that was God's covenant to his people. The first covenant or the first promise that God had for us, and it was in the form of a rainbow. And you know what? When God gives us a promise, can we trust his promise?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, his promise. We can always trust God's promises because they always come true. They always come true. And you know, every time we learn more about science, we learn more about our Creator, God.
I can't seem to find this piece I'm looking for. Whoa, that's pretty good.
It's our church, see? Here's a window, here's the door, and it even has a cool bell.
Well, what I'm building is going to be even better. I'm making the International Tower of Awesome. Though I might need to use some of your bricks from your church, though.
Careful now. I know a story about some people who built a tower out of pride that didn't exactly go the way they planned.
What do you mean, Miss Brenda?
They probably ran out of money. Bricks are expensive.
No, money wasn't the problem. Why don't you two take a break from your Legos, and would you like to hear a story?
Yeah.
Well, I have a story about a massive tower from a long time ago. After the great flood, the descendants of Noah settled near the mountains that had provided the ark with safety during its long journey. Over time, the world was repopulated. Many chose to follow a righteous path. They gave thanks to their Creator and lived their lives as He intended. There were also those that chose to ignore the will of God. They quickly forgot the deliverance of the great flood. Those who stayed true to their Lord tried to convince the others to repent and ask for forgiveness, but this only resulted in terrible arguments. Finally, wishing to distance themselves from those who had remained faithful, they separated in hopes of finding a place of their own. Eventually, they made a new home near the banks of the river Euphrates. It was a beautiful place with much to offer. Full of pride and encouraged by the rebellious spirit, they formed plans for a great city and a great tower that would reach so high into the sky that the whole world would notice. After the flood, what God really wanted was for Noah's family to start over, to repopulate the earth. There was a great big world out there, and He wanted them to explore it, to spread out and take advantage of all that He had created.
Wow, what a plan. That sounds fun. I like exploring.
The people planning the city, they hoped that it would be so big and so great that everyone would go against God's plan and stay in one place. They wanted to rule over everyone. The powerful men who wanted to build the city, they wanted to be more important than God Himself.
Whoa, nobody's better than God.
That's right. Many of the people, including women and children, were assigned the job of making enough bricks to make their dream a reality. Though the people had turned away from God, they had not forgotten the events of the flood. They did not believe that God would keep His word, so they vowed to protect themselves by building a tower so tall that it would be higher than any floodwaters. What they didn't realize is that they could not protect themselves from the pride found within their hearts.
Magnificent, isn't it?
Oh, man.
Indeed it is. This is my life's greatest achievement. I mean, our greatest achievement. We've got a lot to be proud of.
It's remarkable. I mean, man, this is not even completed and people are already moving in. I mean, look at the lower section. Would you believe they're already completely full?
I wonder how long it would take for us to get to the top.
I don't know. Forever, I imagine. What does it matter to us? When we're done, the people are sure to take us to the top of it, and we can live out the rest of our days as powerful men and women.
Yes?
And spend the rest of our lives lavished by servants.
Angered by the city's prideful ways and the idol worship that was becoming more and more common, God sent an angel to interrupt the construction of the tower.
Listen, I'm gonna need some more tar for this level to start work on the second floor. What? I said I'm gonna need some more tar for this level. What are you talking about? I can't understand. John, what is he saying? Do you understand what he's saying?
I don't know what he's
Patrícia trabalhar, eu não quero isso. Eu quero ir embora da casa.
You're not making any sense.
Eu vou embora.
You're not making any sense. What are you? Where are you going? Get back here! I can't understand a word you are saying. What is going on here? I don't understand a word you're saying.
Yo no entiendo qué me está diciendo.
After the angel had disrupted their work, creating confusion by introducing the different languages, construction of the great tower stopped. The workers found it impossible to work together because they could no longer understand each other. Although the master builder pleaded with the people to stay, God had a different plan.
What is going on here? Where are you going? Where are you going?
M'avez-vous entendu? Je ne comprends.
You have to stay. You have to stay. You have to stay.
Look at that. Allons-y.
What are you doing? You can't leave. Can't leave. I need you to stay. Don't go. We need to build the tower. We need to build the tower. Can't you understand? You cannot leave. You can't leave. We need to. Don't. Wait. You can't leave. Wait, there's no one left.
Lass uns gehen. Weiter, Kinder, weiter. Lass uns gehen. Das geht nichts mehr.
That's great. That's magical. Go, you cowards!
His will was ultimately carried out. You see, kids, God doesn't want us to be proud. He doesn't want us to compete to see who is the biggest and the most impressive. Instead of trying to build ourselves up, we should always put others first. We should be happy for others when they do something good. That's how we glorify God, by being humble and unselfish. Just an ounce of pride in our hearts will keep us out of heaven. Does that make sense?
I think so.
What are you doing, Logan?
I think this world needs more churches and less towers. So I'm gonna build a church.
Well, that's right, boys. I think churches are better than towers, don't you?
Yeah. Miss Brenda, do you want to help?
Well, I'd be glad to. I don't know a lot about Legos, but you boys teach me? Okay, where do we start? I think I'm gonna need something like this.
Here, let's use the base from the tower.
Okay, well that's good.
Jesus, draw me close, closer, Lord, to you. Let the world around me fade
It's time for Miss Brenda's Book of the Day. And today's book is called The Schoolhouse Burned Twice. And it's by B.A. Larson. And it is filled with wonderful stories all back in the old times. And I'll give you a hint. There's some Indian stories in here. The Schoolhouse Burned Twice. Well, today's a very special program. I have a very good friend of mine with us today. I love her very much, and I've loved her for a long time. And her name is Nori. And Nori, thank you so much for being here with me today.
Hi, I'm glad to be here.
Well, I'm so glad you're here. And you have a very special story. For as long as I've known you, you have always shined for Jesus. And you've helped me a lot on our Bible stories, haven't you?
Yep.
You dress up, and it doesn't matter what character I ask her to be, we dress her up, and she goes out on the set, and you really are a shining star for Jesus.
Thank you.
And one thing that a lot of people might not know, though, is that you developed an illness. You became ill. And tell me a little bit about, you started getting sick, and you went to the doctor, and the doctor told you what was wrong. What did the doctor say?
They said I would have to have a colostomy because I was bleeding a lot, and so
you were really sick. You were having trouble eating.
Yes, and I couldn't keep things down.
You couldn't keep things down, and you went in and got checked, and they said that what they would have to do is they'd have to do a colostomy. Now, for boys and girls that don't know what that is, what is that?
It's a bag for that your stool comes out in, like if it can't come out the other way.
So they take your intestine and they bring it out to the outside of your body and they attach a bag in there because you can't go to the bathroom like normal boys and girls go to the bathroom. And so for some boys and girls, they'd have a hard time with that, wouldn't they? And they'd also probably maybe even blame God or be mad at God or why did this happen to me? But I've never seen that in you at all, Nori. I have seen you as a witness for Jesus, and you've been in the hospital a lot. In fact, you were in the hospital just a couple of days ago, and you just got out, and you still said you'd come and do this program with me, and I want to thank you for that. Tell me, you've had many opportunities to witness through these hospital visits. Tell me about some of them.
Well, there was a time where I used to do my physical therapy, and that was before I had my surgery, and I got my colostomy. And the person, my physical therapist, she would always ask me if I was scared or like if I didn't maybe want to do the surgery because I was afraid of the anesthesia or like because she heard stories about people not waking up. So she, asked me about that, and I said like if it's God's will, I'll make it through it. So I don't have to be scared if He wants me to go through this, and I can share my faith through this if I do wake up.
So you weren't afraid at all?
Nope.
No, because you trusted in Jesus. And I know that you sang a lot in the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
I noticed that there were a lot of times when singing brought you joy. And if you were afraid at all, that you were singing, even in the operating room when they were taking you and you were singing.
Yeah. My favorite song is Lord Prepare Me to Be a Sanctuary. I like to sing that song. Like when they're getting ready to do another IV, like if it, bust or anything. Like I like doing that, because it just keeps me calm.
It keeps you calm. And I've had an opportunity to call you many times and talk to you right before surgery or text you before surgery and let you know I was praying for you and even pray with you sometimes before your surgery. We were at Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and you happened to be in the hospital. And I know you were really disappointed because you had planned to be in Oshkosh. You're 11 years old, and it was going to be your first year that you could come to a camporee, right? And you were really excited. We were taping Kids Time programs up there, and you were going to be my helper. And we were excited about having you come up, and then you got sick, and you couldn't come, and you were in the hospital.
Yeah.
And I felt really bad that you couldn't be there. And we were doing some live programs from the camporee each night. And some of you viewers might remember on a live program, I talked about you and I said how I wanted to say a special hello to my friend Nori, who's in the hospital right now, and we had a prayer for you. But where were you? Did you get to see Miss Brenda saying hi to Nori right there on live television?
Yeah, I was. It was actually on my mom's iPad. We have the app of 3abn's, so we went to 3abn's Kids
You're
Network.
in the hospital room.
I was in a small room in my hospital room, and my nurse came in. Her name was Amy, and it was me and my mom were all crunched up on my bed waiting, and it was skipping so so we were kind of sad, like, if we were gonna get to see it or not. And then finally, you said, like, I love you, and like, you wish I was here, and like, we were all crying. Even my nurse was crying.
Oh, and I was just hoping and praying. I said, Lord, please help her to be awake so she can see this. I knew you'd be watching the lives each night. And I said, oh, Lord, please help her to be awake. And then to find out that you were and you got to see it, I was so happy.
It was amazing to see it. Like, I cried for a long time.
Well, now the boys and girls that saw that are going to know who Nori is, because now they can see you. So even in the bad times, you have praised Jesus. And what would you tell boys and girls who are suffering with illness right now?
Don't give up, and like, always have faith, because like, it could be happening for a reason for you to be able to share to other people about your testimony, so it can maybe bring another soul to Christ.
Praise the Lord. Well, I want to encourage you boys and girls to keep sharing Jesus. Wherever you go, whatever you do, it's kids' time to share Jesus.